Have you ever gotten dressed, looked in the mirror, and felt a quiet disappointment you couldn't quite explain? Not because the outfit was wrong, not because it didn't fit, but somehow you looked shorter, a little heavier, maybe even older than you feel inside. If that feeling has ever crossed your mind, I want you to pause for a moment, because this might change everything you've believed about your style. It's not your body. The real issue is far more subtle. Most clothing today is designed with taller proportions in mind, and when you layer that with the oversized trends that dominate modern fashion, something gets lost. Your natural shape, your balance, your presence, it all starts to disappear under fabric that was never meant for you. And without realizing it, it begins to feel like the clothes are taking over instead of supporting who you are. But here's a perspective that many women never get to hear. Being petite, especially after 60, is not a limitation, it's a quiet strength. It gives you the ability to create a look that feels thoughtful, refined, and deeply elegant in a way that doesn't rely on trends or excess. And this is where the real transformation begins, because style at this stage of life isn't about looking younger. It's not about keeping up. It's about coming home to yourself, choosing pieces that feel right, that reflect your energy, your experience, your presence. When you begin to dress from that place, something shifts subtly but powerfully. You don't just look more put together. You feel more grounded, more at ease, more like yourself. And from here, everything we're about to explore will start to make sense in a completely new way. Style 1. Master your body proportions, 1/3 to 2/3 rule. So what actually makes an outfit look polished, even before anyone notices the color or the brand? It comes down to something much more subtle and far more powerful: proportion. You see, the human eye doesn't read clothing the way we think it does. It doesn't scan for size labels or price tags. Instead, it instantly picks up on balance on how your outfit is visually divided. That's why you can be wearing the right size and still feel like something looks off. Here's where a simple shift can make a remarkable difference. Instead of dividing your body into equal halves, which tends to visually shorten your frame, try thinking in terms of a 1/3 to 2/3 proportion. Imagine your top taking up about 1/3 of your overall look and your bottoms extending the remaining 2/3. It's a small adjustment, but visually it elongates your legs and creates a more graceful, balanced silhouette. And the beauty of this, you may already have everything you need in your closet: a gentle tuck of your blouse, a slightly higher waistline, a cropped jacket that ends just at the right point. Even adjusting where your top falls on your hips can completely change how your body is perceived. Try this the next time you get dressed. Stand in front of the mirror and ask yourself, where is my outfit visually cutting me? Because once you start seeing proportion, you can't unsee it. And interestingly, this isn't about changing your body at all. It's about working with it more intentionally. And that idea opens the door to something even deeper. Because how you dress doesn't just shape how you look, it shapes how you feel. Style 2. Let your style express confidence, accessories, and posture. But here's something even more powerful than proportion. And once you notice it, it changes the way you dress forever. Your style is speaking, long before you say a single word. The moment you walk into a room, people aren't just seeing your outfit, they're sensing your energy, your presence, the way you carry yourself. And whether we realize it or not, clothing becomes a quiet form of communication. So let me ask you something simple but important. What is your style saying about you today? For petite women over 60, this becomes incredibly impactful. When your clothing aligns with your proportions and reflects your personality, something shifts. You don't need bold statements or dramatic pieces to stand out. Instead, you begin to feel naturally present, effortlessly noticed without trying too hard. And here's the part many women overlook. Confidence in style doesn't come from adding more. It comes from refining what's already there. A delicate necklace instead of layers of jewelry, a structured handbag instead of something oversized, a simple pair of earrings that frame your face without overwhelming it. These small, thoughtful choices create clarity, and clarity is what makes a look feel elegant. But there's one detail that quietly transforms everything, and it's often ignored: your posture. You could be wearing the most beautifully balanced outfit, but if your shoulders are rounded and your posture is closed, the entire effect fades. On the other hand, when you stand tall, shoulders relaxed, spine aligned, chin gently lifted, even the simplest outfit begins to look intentional and refined. So the next time you get dressed, pause for just a moment and ask yourself, what am I expressing today? Because true style isn't just about what people see, it's about what they feel when they see you. And that feeling is where real elegance begins. Style 3. Wear one color to create height. Let's explore something incredibly simple, yet surprisingly transformative. Have you ever noticed how some women seem to look taller and more refined without wearing heels, without doing anything dramatic? There's a quiet technique behind that effect, and once you understand it, it becomes one of the easiest tools you can use every single day. It's called monochromatic dressing. In the simplest terms, it means wearing one color or very similar shades of the same color, from top to bottom. Now that might sound almost too easy, but visually it does something powerful. It creates a continuous vertical line that allows the eye to move smoothly from head to toe without interruption. And that's the key, because when your outfit isn't visually cut into sections, your body instantly appears longer, leaner, and more balanced. There's a sense of flow, a quiet elegance that doesn't need to call attention to itself. Now, compare that to a high-contrast outfit, like a light top paired with dark pants. What happens? The eye stops right at the waist. Your body is visually divided in half, which can unintentionally make you appear shorter. So instead of sharp contrasts, try softer transitions. Think cream with beige, navy with deep blue, colors that blend rather than compete. And if you're wondering, won't that look boring? Not at all. This is where texture becomes your best friend. A soft knit paired with tailored trousers, silk with linen. These subtle differences add depth and interest without breaking that beautiful vertical line. It's a gentle shift, but one that can completely change how your presence is perceived. And once you start to see that line, you'll begin to notice it everywhere. Style 4. Use vertical lines to elongate your silhouette. Once you begin to notice how color creates flow, something else starts to stand out: the direction of the lines in your outfit. And this is where things get quietly powerful, because the eye doesn't just see clothing, it follows it. It moves along the lines, the seams, the shapes your outfit creates. And depending on that direction, your entire silhouette can appear longer or wider without you changing your body at all. Here's the simple truth: vertical lines elongate, while horizontal lines expand. So, if your goal is to look a bit taller, a bit more streamlined, the key is to gently guide the eye up and down, not across. Now, this doesn't mean you need bold stripes or anything dramatic. In fact, the most elegant results often come from subtle details. A long, open front cardigan that creates a vertical frame. A delicate, longer necklace that draws the eye downward. Even the front seams on a pair of trousers or soft pleats can quietly create that lengthening effect. Imagine two outfits for a moment. One has bold horizontal patterns across the waist or hips. The other is clean with soft vertical structure. The difference isn't loud, but it's noticeable. One spreads the frame, the other refines it. So here's something to keep in mind next time you get dressed. Think of your outfit as a visual journey. Where does the eye travel? Does it stop abruptly, or does it flow smoothly from top to bottom? You don't need perfection, just intention. Because when your outfit begins to guide the eye with purpose, something shifts. Your look feels lighter, more graceful, more put together without trying too hard. And from here, we move into something you won't just see, but feel the moment you put it on. Style 5. Choose fabrics that flow with you. Let's shift from what the eye sees to what your body actually feels the moment you put something on. Because have you ever worn an outfit that technically looked fine, but somehow felt heavy the second you moved? Not just in weight, but in the way it made your body appear a little more rigid, a little less at ease. That feeling often comes down to one overlooked detail: fabric. Thicker, stiffer materials like heavy denim or bulky wool can unintentionally work against a petite frame. Instead of following your natural shape, they create structure where you may not want it. The result? Your silhouette can feel compact, even slightly weighed down, as if your movement is being restricted. Now, imagine the opposite. Soft, flowing fabrics like silk, lightweight knits, fine linen, or crepe behave very differently. They don't cling, and they don't fight your shape either. Instead, they gently follow your body's natural lines. They move with you. And that movement creates something subtle yet powerful, a sense of ease. And that ease shows. A blouse that drapes softly over your frame. A pair of trousers that moves as you walk instead of holding its own shape. These small shifts create a lighter, more graceful impression without you having to try harder. But here's something even more interesting. It's not just about how you look. It's about how you feel inside the clothes. When fabric feels soft and fluid, you naturally move more freely. Your posture relaxes, your steps feel lighter. And that quiet comfort often translates into confidence, without you even thinking about it. So the next time you choose an outfit, pause for just a second and ask yourself, how does this fabric move with me? Because sometimes elegance isn't about what you add, it's about how effortlessly everything flows together. Style 6. Avoid clothes that are too oversized. Let me ask you something you may have heard for years. If you want to hide imperfections, just wear looser clothes. It sounds logical, right? More fabric, more coverage, more comfort. But in reality, especially for petite women, that approach often does the opposite. When clothing becomes too oversized, it doesn't just hide the body, it erases its natural shape. Instead of creating a relaxed, effortless look, it can make your frame appear smaller, less defined, even a bit lost inside the fabric. And without that sense of structure, an outfit can start to feel directionless. Think back for a moment. Have you ever worn something very loose and felt like it just didn't quite come together? Not polished, not intentional, just there. That's the missing structure. Now, this doesn't mean you need tight or restrictive clothing. Not at all. The goal is balance. Pieces that gently follow your shape without clinging to it. A soft definition at the waist, maybe through a subtle tuck or a well-cut silhouette, can instantly bring clarity to your look. An open neckline draws the eye upward, creating a sense of lightness through the upper body. Even small adjustments like sleeve length or where a top ends can make a noticeable difference. What you're creating here is not tightness, but guidance. A silhouette that feels clear, natural, and easy to wear. And when your clothes begin to work with your body, instead of covering it, something shifts. You don't just look more put together, you feel more present, more comfortable, more like yourself. Because true elegance isn't about hiding, it's about allowing your natural shape to quietly come through. Style 7. Create a continuous line with shoes and hemlines. By now, you've probably started to notice something. It's often the smallest details that create the biggest shift. And here's one that many women overlook until they see the difference for themselves. Take a quick look down at your outfit. Right where your pants or skirt meet your shoes, that transition matters more than you might think. Because visually, this is where your silhouette either continues or stops. When your shoes and your hemline work together, they create a seamless line from your legs down to your feet. And that uninterrupted flow naturally makes your legs appear longer and more refined. It's subtle, but incredibly effective. For example, pairing darker pants with darker shoes allows the eye to move smoothly downward without distraction. The same idea works beautifully with skirts and dresses. Keeping your shoe tone close to your outfit helps maintain that visual continuity. Now, compare that to a high contrast choice, like dark pants with light or bright shoes. What happens? The eye pauses at the ankle. That line is broken and your height can appear visually shortened. And here's the good news. You don't need high heels to create this effect. A pointed toe flat, a low heel, or a simple clean shoe design can already help extend the line of your leg. The shape matters just as much as the height. A refined silhouette always feels more elongating than something bulky or overly detailed. Then there's the hemline itself. Pants that end just above the ankle or fall slightly longer tend to create a smoother transition into your shoes. So next time you get dressed, take a second look at that final detail, because sometimes it's not about changing the whole outfit, just allowing everything to connect a little more seamlessly. Style 8. Tailor your clothes for the perfect fit. There's one detail that rarely gets attention, yet it's often the difference between an outfit that feels just okay and one that looks truly refined. It's not the brand, it's not the price, it's the fit. Most ready-to-wear clothing is designed for standard proportions, and as you already know, those proportions don't always align with a petite frame. Sleeves run a little too long, hems fall in the wrong place, waistlines sit slightly off. None of these seem like big issues on their own, but together they can make an outfit feel unfinished. And here's the encouraging part. You don't need to replace your wardrobe to fix this. Sometimes the most powerful upgrade you can make is also the simplest, tailoring. Shortening a sleeve so it reveals just a hint of your wrist. Adjusting a hemline so it hits at exactly the right point. Gently shaping the waist so the garment follows your body instead of floating around it. These are small changes, but visually, they create a sense of precision and balance that's hard to ignore. In fact, a well-tailored piece, no matter the price, will almost always look more elevated than an expensive item that doesn't quite fit. But beyond appearance, tailoring carries something deeper. It reflects care. It shows that you value how you present yourself, not for anyone else, but for your own sense of clarity and comfort. Because when your clothes truly fit your body, you stop adjusting them throughout the day. You move more freely. You feel more at ease in your own skin. And that quiet ease is what real elegance looks like. If you take a step back and look at everything we've explored, you'll notice something beautiful. None of these ideas are complicated. They're not about reinventing who you are. They're about refining what's already there. From proportion and confidence to monochromatic dressing, vertical lines, and the fabrics you choose. From the way your clothes fit to how your shoes connect with your outfit, all the way to tailoring and simplicity. These 9 elements may seem small on their own, but together they create something powerful: clarity, balance, and quiet elegance. And here's the most important part. You don't need to look taller. You don't need to look younger. What truly matters is that you feel like yourself. When your style reflects who you are today, your energy, your life experience, your sense of ease, that's when it becomes timeless. That's when it feels real. So instead of changing everything overnight, start small. Maybe it's choosing a softer fabric, adjusting the length of your pants, or simply simplifying an outfit that feels too busy. One small shift can lead to a completely different feeling, and over time, those small changes become your signature. Because style isn't about impressing others, it's about reconnecting with yourself in a way that feels natural and effortless. And if this message resonated with you, I'd love for you to stay connected. Tap the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who might need a gentle reminder that elegance has nothing to do with age. I'll see you in the next video.